This NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship 2025 edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACESGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome into another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's the NASCAR shill, Cody Zeeb. I am Rod Villagomez, and we are here today to talk to you about the NASCAR Xfinity Series in their championship race this weekend. Cody, I know you're on the payroll for NASCAR, so it's good to have you with us and take some time out of your busy chilling schedule.
You could change my name to Cody France if you want to put me on the payroll, but whatever.
Sorry, we're just poking fun. Obviously, we live to have everybody listen, and if you don't agree and share your comments, we welcome that as well. But
I mean, just because I said that, I assume the guy never got comment back on the Spotify comments. We appreciate him, of course, but yeah, I assume he was talking about me saying that whoever wins the championship is the legit champion of the Truck Series, because that's the format. I never said I liked the format. I said the opposite. I want the format to change. But that's what it is. So whatever.
Gotta love it. Gotta love that everybody has an opinion in this world. And there's a lot of folks that aren't afraid to share it. Speaking of sharing things, let's get to some good stuff. Had to watch the NGP After Dark show this morning for the trucks. It did not disappoint. Thanks, gents. Let's go. Also need that smooth intro from me again. Yeah, if you missed the After Dark episode, they're doing a little sax solo in there.
It was pretty smooth throughout. I enjoyed it.
I should have done it better. I mean, I really thought about that 15 seconds before cueing the mic. So if I would have given it a little more thought, you would have had a lot more into it. Ash checking in saying, evening lads, Zilisch like Heim deserves it for his consistency. Speaking of the championship, 10 wins merits a championship. I like Kvapil, but doesn't deserve it. And the others won their races. First race, Allgaier has his 3 by May. I get that. And then also saying, didn't want to miss the final betting picks of the season. This is it, Cody. Last betting picks episode of the season.
For a NASCAR race, I will say, Rod. We still got plenty of F1 races coming up. We're going to pick stuff with that. We'll have futures talk, of course. All sorts of stuff throughout the offseason. But, yeah, a couple of things. It's the final NASCAR race pick show of the year of 2025 and the final NASCAR Xfinity Series show ever. So RIP to the Xfinity Series, not the actual series itself, just the name. It'll be back just as strong next year with the O'Reilly, O'Reilly Auto Parts.
People are going to get so tired of that next year. We're going to lose listeners because I'm going to say that every single time. And they're just going to be like, nope.
I think somebody posted about Parker Kligerman had said something on a podcast he's on or something that Xfinity was paying those guys like $600 every time they said as fast as Xfinity internet. And then they were paying the PR people too. That's why like the PR people are always like standing behind the camera, like say the thing. Like, hell yeah, that's pretty cool.
If I got paid $600 just to utter one phrase every single time.
You got some leftover money from not sponsoring the Xfinity Series anymore? I'll tell you how fast Xfinity internet is as many times as you want a show if you're going to pay me every time I say it.
I'm on Xfinity internet, so just start pumping money into my bank account. I will take
get Xfinity internet if you start paying me.
I'm saying, look at this internet is fast as Xfinity internet because it is Xfinity internet. Absolutely love it. Yeah, this is the last one for it, unfortunately. And we'll settle into our new role. Marcus predicts that Connor Zilisch is going to win the Xfinity Series and the title.
Another Marcus prediction.
God Gotta love it. Laura saying, hello, guys. Won't desert you. Plug my ears, maybe, but that's all right. Just know that I'll let everybody know when it's coming for sure. All right, let's talk about Xfinity, but let's also first tell you that the NFL, MLB, NBA, all these letters. It feels like I'm back in the military with all these acronyms. NFL, MLB, NBA, college football, and the NHL. They're all live, and we got podcasts on the network. So please make sure to subscribe to everything for all those free picks. Go to the SGPN feed, catch every episode wherever you get your podcast. Like I said yesterday, not only do you get this show, you get all kinds of fun stuff as well to go along with it. Let's see. Slow Roll wants me to pick Captain Shook so we all can see Cody go on an epic rant again. Not in this episode.
Come back tomorrow for the DFS show. You never know what you get.
Indeed. TKSVG was begged to finally say it when he won Xfinity or in Chicago this year. Yeah, he finally.
Yeah, they're like, he's like, I gotta say, it was pretty funny. He's like, I guess I have to say this or something to that effect. So pretty funny. But hey,
under contract.
Look how much we're talking about Xfinity. So there you go.
Yeah, well, this will be the last time because then it'll be O'Reilly. Which, by the way, I've gone there a couple of times over the last week, so I'm already patronizing the sponsors, which is
there you go.
A shill if I've ever seen one. All right, Cody, let's talk about some. Is there any news? I know there's a few. Saw one yesterday about Carson Kvapil.
Yeah. Speaking of Xfinity Series, Carson Kvapil is they're going to make it full time. It was kind of a weird way to announce it or whatever, but they said that him and Dale Jr. had the 4, which if you haven't listened to it, Dale Jr. had the 4 Xfinity drivers on for the Dale Jr. download this week for the Wednesday show, and obviously 3 of them raced for him, but then they brought Jesse Love in, which I think is great, right? To bring in all of them and not just focus on his drivers, kind of talk to him, get to know each one, which is pretty cool. And then they kind of announced, hey, they've sounds like they're still trying to figuring it out, but it's gonna get figured out. That Kvapil is going to be full-time next year. Obviously, making it to the championship 4, huge accomplishment. I think that obviously probably helped maybe pull some of the final strings. And not only is he going to be full-time, he's getting Rodney Childers all to himself to be the Cup Series or to be the Xfinity Series crew chief. As we know, Childers a lot of success in those cars in particular when those were the Cup cars back in the day. And a lot of people will say there's a lot more leeway in those cars, and he's a creative guy, if you will, Rod. It might be exciting to see what Childers and Kvapil can do next year as they team up.
Yeah, it was a little bit, I don't want to say weird, but it just felt like it was icky that he would make the playoffs and not get a full-time ride next year. I almost felt like that was the thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the business side of it, right? And we've seen it plenty of times where business decisions get made and the money wasn't there, the backing wasn't there, whatever supporters he had wasn't there. But then you find a way to make it to the Final 4. That probably puts a little pressure on Dale Jr. to put a little pressure on his partners and when Dale Jr. likes a guy, when Dale Jr. believes in a guy, and we saw this with Josh Berry, Dale was shilling out his own money to help Josh get rides. And look, a full-time Cup guy, he won a Cup race on a quote-unquote regular track this year. So when he believes in a guy, he's going to try harder for you. And I think Carson is one of those guys. He's the guy who replaced Perry in the late model and has worked his way up to this point. His little brother, Caden Kvapil, is racing for Junior in that series as well. So, I think that, he's pushing extra hard for it and they're figuring out a way to make the money work and get him there. And, obviously, I'd say, I don't know, obviously not disappointing season because the results is a championship 4, which you're going to take. But maybe it wasn't quite the season I think we expected from him. Hopefully maybe he'll be able to take a big step next year, especially with a guy like Rodney Childers in the box.
Yeah, and I know that I had pretty much placed Kvapil over Zilisch at the beginning of the season. I thought that Kvapil would be the better of the 2 early on. Boy, was I definitely wrong on that one, wasn't I?
I was admiring the 7-1 ticket that I have on Connor Zilisch to win the championship, Rod. That's why you got to listen on the off season, because we tried to tell. Well, Rod didn't, but I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you then that it was going to be. I don't know that I saw it being this good of a season, but I talked about how he would be dominant throughout the season. He was going to win a ton of races. He was going to be the guy to beat, and that's kind of has come true. Looking back now at what you've been able to get him just over the past 3 months, championship futures wise, like, it's been dead. But 7-1 ticket coming into this is pretty nice to behold.
Yeah, I don't think I was arguing that fact. I was just saying that he definitely.
You were more on the Kvapil train than the Zilisch train, and there's still definitely some hope for Kvapil there. And shit, who knows? Maybe he wins he could still win the Rookie of the Year this week, Rod.
It's still good
if the cards fall correctly for him, and he could win the championship too. Imagine suddenly he wins the championship. He's the Rookie of the Year. Boy, that'll really piss off the non-NASCAR shills.
Gotta love
I won't be pissed off, of course, because
that's the way this is set up, right? It's not our fault. We're just playing within the rules that are set forward in this, and then when they're changed next year, we'll play within those rules too.
Exactly. That's how it works.
Speaking of playing within the rules, that's what they're going to be doing this week on the Phoenix Raceway in Avondale, Arizona. We are set for the Xfinity Series championship race, 200 laps around this 1 mile paved track for 200 even miles. Cody, beating, banging. Well, maybe not so much on Phoenix, but there will definitely be some hot tempers, some strategy calls, and all kinds of entertaining stuff for those 200 miles. And at the end, we crown a champ.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it's pretty simple as that. There's 38 cars entered for this race, Rod. They will all make the race. Patrick Emmerling is going to be in the 07, Garrett Smithley in the 14, Corey Day going to be in the 17. And one of the rumors, it's not been an official announcement, but somebody reliable, it must have been Bianchi probably, somebody reliable said Corey Day full-time next year in the Hendrick car for Xfinity. Very interesting there. That he's going to get that opportunity, but should be great for him. The number 18 is going to be Justin Bonsignore once again, filling in for William Sawalich, not cleared to race this weekend. So again, thinking of him as he continues to recover from those concussion-like symptoms. Great to see him at the track last week. They often say when you are experiencing the concussion, it is good to be in the loud environments. Kurt Busch was going to concerts and stuff when he was recovering from all that, because that helps, with the healing from the concussion and stuff. So good to see him at the track, but he will not be racing. Aric Almirola, he's back in the 19 car this week. We'll touch on it later, but reminder, still racing for the Owners' Championship in that car. Stephen Parsons is going to be in the 35 car. He's doing double duty, running that 7 truck as well. Leland Honeyman in the 70 and Connor Mozak in the 99. And then, Rod, as we talked about a little bit on the Cup Series show, Sam Mayer has been suspended for this race for his actions post-race last week in Martinsville with Jeb Burton. So he is out of the 41. He has to stay home this week. So they got on the horn with Ryan Sieg and said, hey, you want to come drive this 41 car? Finished third place here in the spring in the 39, Rod. So getting an upgrade for the weekend. He's going to be in the 41 car, which then moves Kyle Sieg, his brother, from the 28 to the 39 car. And then they're plugging somebody in the 28. I don't know if you've got in front of you who it was, but nobody did super note. But
yeah, I was gonna say they were gonna announce it when I saw it last, but I didn't see the announcement.
Yeah, I saw a rumor, and I don't remember who it was, but yeah, somebody else will be in the 28 car for Kyle Sieg. I mean, that's not going to be a great car, obviously. So I wouldn't overly worry about that. But we will be talking about Ryan Sieg jumping into that 41 car this week, because definitely of note. Do we want to set up the playoff stuff when we get back, Rod?
Yeah, we absolutely do need to set up the playoff stuff when we get back. And when we get back from talking about our friends over at mybookie.ag, we're brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie, your place to bet on football and everything else. And the prop builder, always second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anytime, anywhere, any place, in any sort of dress you want. Doesn't matter. They're not looking. And you can definitely put that to the test. I've given you so many weird bets, up to and including highlight. I've given you darts. I've given you Australian rules football. It's all right there for you. Plus, there's easy deposit, lightning fast payout using cryptocurrency. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500. $100 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Let's tell you about Novig. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig, you're getting the best prices. Novig has got some first touchdown props for the Thursday night football game tonight. They're giving Derrick Henry out at plus 415. Some books are only giving you plus 390 for a Derrick Henry first-time touchdown score in Thursday night's game, but not Novig. They're giving you plus 415 because guess what? There's Novig. So you can get in on all of that because Novig is available in 35 or more states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. 4 drivers remain in the chase for the, I'm sorry, no, it's not the chase anymore. It's for the quest for the NASCAR Championship Xfinity Series. And Cody, all these guys are respawn points. Just go out and run your race and come in front of everybody and you get to take that thing home.
Simple as that. Shout out to Matt. Nick Lights is the guy that's going to be driving the 28 car for reference. But yeah, simple as that, as we've talked about with the Truck Series yesterday, with the Cup Series on Tuesday. 4 drivers, mano a mano, best finisher wins the race. Whether that's finishing first and beating everybody, whether that's finishing 34th and beating everybody, doesn't matter. Be the best finisher, and you are the champion. Stage points don't matter. Nothing else matters other than finishing position. Those 4 drivers, of course, Connor Zilisch with his 8 trillion wins this season. I believe 13 times this year that car ended up in victory lane. Was it 12 or 13? I can't remember. But obviously, he was subbed out at Daytona when Parker Kligerman went on to win, and Kyle Larson filled in for him and won in that car as well at Texas. But very impressive season from that car. Justin Allgaier, he is in, the defending champion, of course. Ben Great at Phoenix. Last year went through the ringer, 2 laps down at one point, fought his way all the way back, wins the championship. His first, it was, him and Majeski both winning the championship last year, and it was like, finally, these guys got it done. Sound familiar? Denny Hamlin? Your turn. But he's going to be in this one. Their teammate, Carson Kvapil, we just talked about, he's going to be in the 1 car. And then from the RCR camp, 4 Chevrolets, of course, in this. But Jesse Love is representing RCR in the number 2 car. So best finisher will be your 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series champion, but not in my book, Rod. In my book, it's Connor Zilisch. I don't care what you say. I don't care what the rules. No, that would be stupid to say because that's not what the rules are.
Listen, all I'm saying is I'm not. No, yeah, this is going to be fun. Obviously, these 4 drivers represent pretty much the best of what we've seen all season long. Jesse Love, too. I mean, you talk about these junior motorsports cars, and we have at length, right? Especially Justin Allgaier and Connor Zilisch. Those guys are the top of the crew. Carson Kvapil kind of getting in there as well based on his merit. But Jesse Love, right? I mean, to all the stuff that he had to overcome all season long, and he ran a hell of a race in Martinsville to make sure that he got there, right? He earned that final spot because it was a battle at the end there for that last spot.
Yeah, I mean, he probably worked harder than anybody in the field, just trying to hold on to that points cushion that he had going into that race and finding a way to get it done and punching his ticket here. Not to spoil too much of the show, Rod, but best average finish of all these guys at Phoenix is Jesse Love. So last time JRM got 3 cars to the championship race, Ty Gibbs won the championship over in the Gibbs camp as the other car. So not a given that Junior Motorsports will win this one, but obviously odds very much in their favor.
Yes, it is. Yeah, when you got 3 out of the 4 cars, it's certainly
and
again,
yeah, 2 of the top 2 cars obviously that they have really going to make a difference, I think. But we'll talk about it.
We will talk about it. Let's do that then. Let's start setting up our betting card for this Xfinity Series championship race, which will crown a champion. But there's other guys that are driving too, and it's not just the 4. So we'll concentrate on some of those guys as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's actually, let's go ahead and set that up as well, because there is 4 cars in the Owners Championship race as well. If you don't know how that works, basically, the car also accrues points throughout the year. So when different drivers are in the 19 car all year, they're accruing points. Now, Cup Series drivers' wins don't count for the playoffs, all that stuff, but Aric Almirola does count. When the 21 car of Austin Hill is suspended for a race, well, the person who gets in and drives that car is still accruing points for that car. So we don't really see it be a thing in the Cup Series, but in the Truck Series and Xfinity Series, we do a lot. And the Final Four for the Xfinity Series Owners Championship, very different. You've got the 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing, so Aric Almirola. You got the 21 of Austin Hill, and then it's the 88 of Junior Motorsports of Zilisch, and the 7 for Junior Motorsports of Justin Allgaier. I don't know why I forgot his name for a second there. I had to reset myself. But so the 19 and 21, to the point, they're racing for a championship as well. So it won't be a situation where, oh, those guys are racing for the points championship, I'll be extra nice to them, because they're out there racing for their own championship. It doesn't bring all the glory and everything that the drivers' championship brings, no, but that's actually how the teams get paid more so than for the drivers' championship and all that. And they put specifically a guy like Aric Almirola in this car for the playoffs to go win that championship. So just wanted to go ahead and point out that those two guys are still racing for a championship this year, despite the fact that they're not in the drivers' Final Four.
Indeed. Yeah, that's a convoluted system that the NASCAR set up, but it's the one we're playing under. And yeah, so everybody counts in this instance. So like we said, there are folks that are still trying to go out there and win a race that they're not in line for the championship, but they can still win the race. So, we're going to talk about some other drivers that aren't championship for. And look at who was it earlier up in the chat was talking about it being very difficult to nail down some bets. Yeah, the books got tighter for the Xfinity. So yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, it's a very tough week, and we don't, at least as of recording this, we're kind of a day later than normal, being a Thursday afternoon, having each series get its own individual show, kind of needing to do the Truck Series yesterday because they're practicing this afternoon here. We can't watch on TV because Fox decided we shouldn't see that, but they will be practicing nonetheless. But as of now, on Thursday evening, we don't have top 10 bets at all, which is kind of interesting. So a bit of a limited selection, which is unfortunate, but we still found some really good stuff, Rod.
Yes, we did.
I suppose we should start giving them out now, huh?
I think we should. Let's go ahead and load it up.
Yeah, so I'm going to jump on Ryan Sieg in that 41 car for Sam Mayer. I'm going to take him over Sheldon Creed plus 130 over on Bet365. Now, this I don't think is just a pure reaction like, oh my God, he's in a good car, we got to bet on him. That's not the case at all, because Ryan Sieg, even in the 39 car, has had a hell of a season, and he's actually been really good at this track in particular as well. So it's not just an overreaction to Sieg in particular being in this car. But if you come back to the spring race here in the 39 car, guess where Ryan Sieg finished in this race, Rob?
I'm going to say pretty good.
Pretty good is the correct answer. Ryan Sieg finished in 4th place. So a very good run by him there. He was 10th place in stage 2, kind of hung up front there all day. I think there was some little bit of chaos at the end of that one, but a 4th place finish for him, a great run. And he's been pretty solid at this track kind of throughout his career. 23rd in this race last year, but a 12th place finish. It's kind of a mixed bag of some stuff, but he had an 11th place finish here in 22, 11th place finish here in 20, 13th, 10th, 19th, even back, going way back. He's got some 14th place finishes back in 16 and 14. He's been good throughout his career at this track. And then you just look at the season that he's had as a whole, right? It's been really, so Sieg's been a guy that's been around forever. He's been racing in the series since I think 2014 and just kind of been middling, but last year they really broke out and you started to see some really good runs, and that's kind of just been the story of his season. And it's not every single week, right? 15th at Martinsville last week, probably not going to get it done, but 7th place at Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago, 5th at Indy a few weeks ago, 8th place at Iowa, shorter, flatter track, 6th place finish at Dover, 7th place at Bristol, 5th place at Pocono. He's been very capable of getting good, strong finishes throughout this season. Then you look over to Sheldon Creed, who's actually his teammate in this race, because, of course, they are both in the I always want to say Stewart-Haas Racing, but not Stewart-Haas Racing, just the Haas Automotive? Haas Factory team. But their final race with Ford, by the way. But 36th place finish here in the spring, got caught up in a wreck, so not a good run. Before that, he's been good, but that was also not with Haas, so a little bit hard to tell. I mean, with Joe Gibbs Racing, a 7th place finish, a 3rd place finish, 2nd and 3rd here with Richard Childress, 6th and 14th. So been a mixed bag, but he's been pretty solid at this track nonetheless. But point being for me, and the reason I'm taking this, you're getting plus 130 on Ryan Sieg, who's getting an opportunity to kind of I don't know that Ryan Sieg's looking for some big ride with Haas or anything like that. They've got an established team. They're good at what they do, but it's an opportunity to kind of show off for sponsors and other opportunities that maybe he does get down the road. And you get a chance to step up into this ride, into this role, right? Like, hey, Rod, we need you to come, host the Sports Gambling Podcast this week. Like, oh boy, this is a big opportunity, right? I'm not going to take over the role of that, in the future. Maybe you will, I don't know, but likely not, right? But you get the opportunity to sit in that seat. You want to be the best that you can be. And I think that we're going to see that from Sieg. For Creed, he's got nothing to race for. Kind of a disappointing season. Doesn't make it this far. Didn't even make it to the final 8. Like, whatever. Maybe he'll just go finish second place because that's what he does. But I think it could be a little bit of a letdown week for him. Let's get to vacation. I don't know that we know his plans for next year. I don't know that he knows his plans for next year. But plus 130 in equal cars when Sieg finished 4th place here in the spring in the 39 car. Give me Ryan Sieg over Sheldon Creed, plus 130 over on Bet365.
Yeah, and so I have a little different take on Sheldon Creed. Yeah, it probably won't be the bestest of finisher, but he definitely does know how to get around it. You just read off all of his finishes. It's just an impressive streak that got busted up
I don't like
last year.
I almost took
okay.
the opposite side of this just to argue with you one final time on the Xfinity Series, but I'll let you give out your bet.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for that. I'm glad that you're allowing me to do my job while I go up to the top and fill in for the big bosses. But no, honestly, we did not get to see, I think, the best of what we were getting out of Sheldon Creed in Phoenix in particular. He did start on the outside pole, so he had speed in that race, but he got Austin Hilled on lap 62, where Hill misjudged the entrance to turn 3, hits the inside wall, takes out Sheldon Creed, an innocent bystander in the chaos and carnage that was the 21's season. So I feel like we kind of got robbed of what we could have seen out of him in that, because like you said, he has been so damn good on this track. That was how many straight top 10 finishes for him, and all but 2 of his starts on this track, of his 8 starts have been top 10 finishes. So 6 top 10s, 3 top 5s. His average finish is 10.1. So to me, I feel like that's what we were supposed to see out of Sheldon Creed. Now, a top 10 finish should be in the cards for him again. Taylor Gray, yeah, okay. He ended up, doing well for himself, and he ended up winning at Martinsville. Yeah, okay, I get it. But before that, 31st at Talladega, 8th at Las Vegas, 13th at the Roval, 6th at Kansas, okay, 14th at Bristol, 17th at Gateway, 14th at Portland, 30th at Daytona, 18th at Watkins Glen, 17th at Iowa. Just a horrendous stretch of bad finishes before he finally got that win last week at Martinsville. I know he's going to be riding high, but guess what? He also really has nothing to drive for now, because he just doesn't. And yeah, that win is exciting, but now, is it the hangover after the win, or is he going to go out and try to really race his hardest? So I think these guys, they're going to be close together. It's not going to be where, Taylor Gray is going to be in top 2 and Sheldon Creed is going to be in the 32. I think this is going to be a very close finish, but I do give the edge just ever so slightly to Sheldon Creed. Taylor Gray's only got 1 start in his career on this track. And yes, it was a 6th place finish earlier in the spring, which is, impressive. But Sheldon Creed was on the outside pole. If he could have hung on and not gotten Austin Hilled, we might have seen a top 3 finish, or even a 2nd place finish out of Sheldon Creed, as we were wont to do very often. So that is at even money. Sheldon Creed over Taylor Gray plus 100 on ESPN.
I didn't take the other side of this because it's minus 130, because the books know the correct side to be on this. But you look back at the spring race here. Almirola wins in a Joe Gibbs Toyota. Brandon Jones is 3rd in a Joe Gibbs Toyota. Taylor Gray is 6th in a Joe Gibbs Toyota. Very, very, and even William Sawalich at that point, not a good William Sawalich, 13th place. So they were very good at this track. They've been very good at this track for years. And Taylor Gray's riding the high of an Xfinity Series win. Sheldon Creed doesn't even know what that feels like. And I don't know. Gray's going to come in just riding that high. I think that's going to help him have a great race. He's been very good everywhere, really. Yeah, a couple of bad results in there, not always indicative of the runs, but on the shorter, flatter tracks, he's been very good. Should have won the spring race at Martinsville as well. Got dumped late there, obviously. Was able to come back and get the redemption, but riding that high into this week, I don't know that we know his plans for next year just yet. Finish out the season with a strong finish. I definitely like the Taylor Gray side over Sheldon Creed, Rod. I would never speak poorly of Taylor Gray, and I just want to apologize as well for not having any bets on him last week when he won. I can't believe we did that.
I can't believe it either, to be honest with you. It's just, that's something that has been a staple of this show every week in and week out. And the one week we don't, guess who wins? It's Taylor Gray.
Yeah, shit happens.
It does. All right, let's get on to our bets. But before we do, I would like to take this opportunity to formally introduce you all to our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. Staring right now at this Thursday night matchup. This is why you have to watch live, because you got to get in on Derrick Henry's rushing yards. His projection is set at 88.5 rushing yards. Give me the higher than. I know Lamar Jackson's back, but that maybe helps him a lot because Lamar's still going to be kind of a little cautious coming back from injury. So Derrick Henry's going to get fed and fed a lot. So give me his rushing total higher than 88.5. The projection is set there. You can get down on that one. Underdog's got a brand new offer too. If you're a new customer, play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE SGPN. Tell you about Rhythm. Rhythm's crushing it in college football, NFL, and now they just added the NBA. Is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Go track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build. You can win $1,000. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off of your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. All right, Cody, let's continue down our betting card with a familiar name to the show as well.
Yeah, Mr. Fitted Jones likes Almirola for the win, but I'm going to start with Almirola top 3 plus 115 over on Fanatics. They've got some juicy numbers again this week, so definitely a book. Hopefully they're kind of finishing the season on a strong run with good numbers for NASCAR. Hopefully that'll continue into the off season first of all, and then into next season as well. Would definitely love to see that. But Almirola, as I read to you the finishing order from the spring, he won this race over Alex Bowman, by the way, in the Hendrick number 17 car. Brandon Jones was 3rd, and Taylor Gray was 6th. Very fast Joe Gibbs Racing cars here at the beginning of the season, when really Joe Gibbs Racing overall was a big struggle bus for them at the beginning of the year. A lot of issues for them, even for Aric in this 19 car. Now you enter this race, he's racing. This isn't just one more race before we head to the next softball tournament for the daughter or whatever. No, he's here to win the championship for Joe Gibbs Racing. If you ever notice on his door above his window where he gets in, it says JD Gibbs on the car. JD, Joe's son, who passed, meant a lot to Aric and his career coming up, and to be able to get a championship for the Gibbs organization, for JD, for Joe. That's what Aric is here to do. That's what he signed up to run these playoff races for. He is going to bring everything he has. Is it enough for Zilisch? Is it enough for Allgaier? Maybe it's not, right? Maybe one of those guys gets the better of him. Maybe both of them get the better of him. But he's going to be top 3 at the end of the day. And at plus 115, just insane, I think, to get a number like this for Aric Almirola. You go back and you look at his season, and it's been successful. 5th place last week at Martinsville. Obviously not top 3, but led 51 laps. He looked very good. He won at Las Vegas to lock this car in here. Bristol, a solid run there with the win. 2nd place at Dover, kind of some of his runs down the stretch. Obviously, at the beginning of the season, you had the Phoenix win. You had the Las Vegas 2nd place. Good runs from him throughout a majority of the season. He's had a couple of tough races, but Talladega, Roval, fine. Gateway, shorter, flatter track, 6th place finish. You'd liked a little bit better, but with everything on the line in this one for Aric, for this 19 car, if they don't win, which we'll get to in a few, I think he's going to be top 3 with a Zilisch, with an Allgaier. Give me Aric Almirola plus 115 for a top 3. If you don't have Fanatics, some books have it out there at minus 110. I was going to take that before I found the plus 115, honestly, so I would still take that. But if you get the plus 115 at Fanatics or elsewhere, I definitely love that number.
He's just that guy. He'll insert himself into the mix and won't apologize for it at all, because he, like you said, is racing for something as well. And
yeah,
speaking
of not racing for something, TK, the show researcher, Creed Mayer on both on multi-year deals. So Mayer won't be racing for anything this week because he's not allowed at the track. And Creed won't be racing for anything either as Taylor Gray beats him.
You're so confident in that. And that's fine. That's what you're supposed to be. Stand by your man. All right. I am going to stand by my man over there in the Colleague equipment, and that is Christian Eckes. They've got Group 3 over on Hard Rock, and I'm going to take him to win in that group over Justin Bonsignore, Nick Sanchez, and Brendan Queen. This is kind of a weird group because obviously we know that Christian Eckes and Nick Sanchez both are full-timers, and then you got Queen in their part-time and Bonsignore obviously in that 18. You did just lay out the success of the of JGR on this track in particular, but you know, Bonsignore has only filled in a couple of times and not really all that that much success on it as well. Bonsignore's come in with an average finish of 24.1 between the 19 and the 18 cars. He did finish 10th in Martinsville last week, but 37th at Kansas, 12th at Iowa, 38th at Pocono, 38th at Rockingham, 17th at Bristol, 16th at Homestead, 25th at Daytona. Not really expecting a gigantic day out of Bonsignore. Maybe top 10, that'd be fine. Maybe top 15, okay, I can maybe get behind that, but not really anything that you're gonna look at that and go, ooh, wow, that was a great run. As for Brendan Queen, we know we love some Butterbean Queen, but his average finish this year, 25. 20th in the Bristol race, 9th at Kansas, 36th at Talladega, 35th at Martinsville. He's crashed out of a couple of races, which means getting mixed up, getting caught up in stuff, unfortunately. And, you know, so I think Christian Eckes can do better than his teammate this year. Nick Sanchez, 17.1 average finish this season, 19th at Martinsville, 20th at Dega. He did have a 5th place finish at Vegas, which was fun. 9th at the Roval, 8th at Kansas, 13th at Bristol. Just some pretty ho-hum results. I will say that in the one race that these guys have gone head-to-head, Eckes and Sanchez, Eckes has the better of it because Eckes actually finished just a few spots before than his Nick Sanchez did. So, yeah, like I said, I mean, to me, Christian Eckes in that 16, we've sung his praises all year long. His average finish, 16.3. It's not gigantic, but he did have an 8th place finish here at Phoenix, like I had talked about earlier, which is better than 10th place for Nick Sanchez. And we've sort of seen Christian Eckes turn it on to time. 4th at Portland, 3rd at Gateway, 10th at the Roval, 4th in Talladega. Bad day at Martinsville, 27th, and a kind of a bad day in Las Vegas at 18th. But, you know, like I said, Christian Eckes has been one of those guys where he'll catch on. And this is the last race of the season. He'll just have to go out and beat these other 3 guys. And I think he could just have a better day. And that could be 15th place, better than all of these guys. So, yeah, give me Christian Eckes to win Group 3 over on Hard Rock over Bonsignore, Sanchez, and Queen.
Which team does Bonsignore race for?
It doesn't matter, Cody. He's raced for that team and all of those other ones, and he's barely scratched a top 10 finish in one of those.
Just making some notes over here. I actually do sort of like this bet. I've got some thoughts on Bonsignore actually coming up. And TK, I think, agrees with me in the chat there, so I like that. But, you know, Brendan Queen, we've definitely sung some praises. It's not been completely consistent from him. Sanchez, what are you going to get? You never know. Eckes has been pretty solid. He's been pretty reliable. This is the final Colleague Xfinity Series race. They're not going to be in the Xfinity Series after this year. They're getting rid of that program, but it's been a long-standing program. And I think, you know, they're not going away as a company, right? Everybody's going to shift over to the Truck Series or the Cup Series. They're still going to be around. So I'm not too worried about, you know, final race going away. So yeah, I don't mind. I was looking at Bonsignore in this group. He's actually the favorite of the group, but Eckes is a reason I couldn't pull the trigger on it. So I do like it for that reason.
Indeed. All right. Speaking of loving people, oh, you just threw another one in, didn't you?
No, I didn't throw another one in. Did I throw another one?
I thought you did.
No, I was just maneuvering my mouse over here. But
okay.
All right, I am loving Jesse Love this week. Plus 140 for Jesse Love to finish in the top 5 over on Fanatics. I think this is a great number. I think that you're going to agree with me on this because you've got some Jesse Love stuff coming up as well. But Jesse Love, Rod, of all active drivers or drivers who are in this race, I guess I should say, Jesse Love has the best average finish here since 2022. 5.7 average finish in his 3 starts. He finished 2nd place here on March of 24, 6th place in November last year, and 9th place in the spring. So hopefully the trend doesn't keep up of him going backwards a little bit, but it's still 3 solid runs. And he's got that ability to finish as high as a second place, which you like. And in this, I'm not expecting him to finish second place. I just need him to finish in the top 5 to cash this bet at plus money. Again, you think of the championship race, and I don't want to count Carson Kvapil out because I don't think you should do that. But really, I'm looking at this being the 88, the 77, the 19 because he's in that owner's championship, and the 2 car as kind of the next. I think those are kind of the 4 in this one for me. Even though Kvapil is in the championship race, I just don't know that he's going to be able to keep up with these other guys. And I think you could somewhat toss Austin Hill in there because he's also in that owner's championship. But love being one of these championship guys. I think he's going to be able to find his way to a top 5. Is it enough to win the championship? We'll see. Probably not, but he's finished second place here before. Certainly he could. You go back and you look through the results, it can be a mixed bag, right? The 23rd last week, not the greatest of days, but what was it, 2-3 penalties he had in that race? They just kept stepping on their own foot, but overcame it, had enough points to move on to the next round, so you like to see that. He did finish 6th at Las Vegas, so that was a good run. But you go back and you look at some tracks like Iowa, started on the pole at 31 laps, finished second place that day. That's a very comparable track to this. So he's got that type of upside at shorter tracks like this. You like to see that. 9th place run here in the spring. Again, not enough to get it done, but now being in the championship 4, plus 140 for a top 5. I like that number. And then I'm going to toss in Ryan Sieg, top 5, plus 350, also over on Fanatics, the best number I found there. I already kind of sung his praises, and he got the top 5 here in the spring in the 39 car. Now you're in the 41 car. Yes, you're obviously accounting for guys like Love to be a little bit more juiced up, but also Alex Bowman, one of the guys who finished ahead of him in the spring, not in this race. So I think he'll be able to find his way back to the top 5 at plus 350 for the ride he's in, for being able to do it last time they were here. I like it.
So I'm just going to jump to my next one, Laura. I had this in the doc before Cody put the top 5, just for the record.
You did.
Love top 3. Love top 3. Plus 325 is the number I got for a Love top 3. You just laid everything out that I was going to lay out. And really, ultimately, this comes down to the fact that I agree with you. This is going to be a 3-horse race between the 88, the 7, and the 2. And this 2 team has got a lot of pride on the shelf because, you know, Jesse Love came in last year and won some races and turned a lot of heads and felt like it kind of cooled off because Connor Zilisch came in and stole all that thunder from Love. And these guys are friends, right? They're best friends. And so they're going to be out there running alongside each other, trying to best the other. And that kind of competition just brings out the best in it. And we've seen it over and over again in these championship races where the top 4 will run inside of the top 5, inside of the top 3, all race long. And, you know, we talked about it differently. It looks a little different sometimes in the truck race. It looks a little different sometimes in the Xfinity race. But with these drivers, I don't think it's going to be any different than that. I think that these guys are going to be fighting for the top spot, obviously. And I've said it all 3 series, or at least the 2 series that we've done before then. When these guys miss, they're not going to miss in 30th. They're going to miss in 3rd. So I love Jesse Love as a top 3 car, just like you love him as a top 5 car. So I'll bump that up at plus 325.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that he's proven to be very good here. And really good at some comparable tracks like Iowa. Don't forget he won at Rockingham. Granted, I think there was a little bit of fuel stuff in that one, but a similar track. He was obviously disqualified, so not going to show up on the stat sheet, but did get the win there. So, I'm very much love this week, Rod. So I'll ride this one with you.
Indeed. All right, what do you got next?
Next up for me, I'm going to go to that place you were hating on a little bit ago, and that's Justin Bonsignore. You cannot see a case for him to finish well, and I think you're wrong. And I think TK agrees with me, so I'll agree with TK. Justin Bonsignore did well last week. It was almost a top 3 finish, though clearly JGR was the class of field of Martinsville. They're going to be the class of the field again this week. I just told you that already. They finished 1st here in the spring. They finished 3rd here in the spring. They finished 6th place here in the spring. Good runs, fast cars. Bonsignore, 2 weeks in a row. He doesn't often get that opportunity. That's nice. The same car, right? Filling in the 18 for William Sawalich. Short, flat guy. He's a modified guy. You like to see that. Great run for him last week. It was looking like a top 3, top 5 finish till the end. Got shuffled back there and ends up with the 10th place finish, but still a decent run. If there was top 10 odds, Justin Bonsignore top 10 would be a bet that I would love to place. So if and when we get top 10s, go take his top 10 if you have access to ESPN. Again, as we record this, we don't have top 10s. Are they going to give them to us this weekend? It'd be pretty shitty if they don't, but maybe they don't. I don't know. So I'll take the top 5 here because I think he's got that type of upside. But if I could get a top 10, that's really, really what I would like from him. But this is basically just building off of being a short, flat guy, being in what should be a fast car, and coming off a great run at Martinsville last week. Salvaged a 10th place finish. Give me Justin Bonsignore top 5 at 6-1 over on Fanatics. And top 10 at fill in the blank on ESPN when they hopefully post those numbers.
At upside down question mark. I will excitedly co-sign your top 10 for you. Top 5. I just feel like that's a little bit tough because I'm putting a lot of guys in the top 5, right?
Well, and that's the thing with the champ. Like we kind of expect these races. We talked about in the Cup Series. I think you're going to get all 5 in the top 5. I talked about that in the Truck Series. Maybe not quite as much, but you're going to have a couple of guys up there in Xfinity Series. It might not be the championship 4, but it's going to be some of the championship 8 if you include or 6, I guess, if you include the 2 guys from the owner side of things. So top 5 is definitely asking for a lot. I think 6-1's a fair number for it. But if we have the top 10, that's the bet I would really be going hardcore on here because I think a top 10 is a great bet if you get the opportunity.
I agree, but I also think that there's a stronger case to be made for his teammate Brandon Jones in that 20 car for a top 5. I know he's only 2-1. I know the number's not as sexy as it is, but
what team does he
Brandon
drive
for? Listen, this is the only way I'm going to get in on your JGR level, right? Look, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, he drives a JGR, but not all JGR cars are made the same. Brandon Jones is just built different. Brandon Jones, he is the second highest in terms of totals, top 5s in active drivers. It goes Justin Allgaier. And then there's Riley Herbst, Cole Custer, Austin Dillon, obviously all not in this race. But then it's Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones has 4. Justin Allgaier has 12 top 5s. We'll talk about that in a second. But 12 top 5s on this track in 30 starts. Brandon Jones has 19 starts, 1 win, 4 top 5s, 8 top 10s into that one. And for Brandon Jones, I mean, that's just been the way it is. He finished 3rd here in the spring in this 20 car. And that's kind of where you go to just sort of point that out. But then in the 19 car, when he is in that Joe Gibbs racing machine, he had finishes of 11th, 7th, 7th, 11th. He won 3rd, 33rd, unfortunately, but 7th, 2nd, and 11th, 23rd, 11th, and 7th, just circling around, if not inside of the top 5 for Brandon Jones. And like you said, Cody, he drives for JGR, and JGR is going to dominate this race, and JGR is going to be 1st through 36th, and so that's where they're going to be. But Brandon Jones, 12 top 10, 7 top 5s this season, along with his 2 wins. He did finish, like I said, 3rd at Martinsville last week. He won at Kansas earlier, 4th at Gateway earlier in the season, 3rd at Dover as well. Very solid top 5 finishes. 1 at Darlington, like I said, 3rd at Phoenix. So we know this 20 car can get it done. He is not afraid of this track. It doesn't matter that he's not in the championship. So there's, some stuff to run for still for Brandon Jones pride-wise. And if the JGR cars are going to win this race and every other race in perpetuity, then give me Brandon Jones as a top 5 car, 2-1 on Hard Rock.
Yeah, all I heard you say was JGR is going to dominate this race and win. So I agree with you.
Boy, selective hearing on this Thursday. This is the last betting episode for Xfinity Series, so we have to go out spicy.
That's right. We do have to go out spicy. But yeah, no, I looked at this one. I ended up taking the Bonsignore just because I think that top 5 is going to be hard to crack. You're going to the number at three times the number. Obviously, I think Jones is the better driver. He's been really good here. As I was looking through those features tickets, I had a lot of Brandon Jones. Was really hoping he was going to make it here, and he got so fucking close, Rod. He was so fucking close. I'd feel so good if I had Jones and Zilisch in this race. Oh, my goodness. What could have been, but we'll just have to run it back next year. But I will tell you on these picks, or this pick of Brandon Jones' top 5.
Indeed. Once again, we're riding the mustache, aren't we?
Look, we're not going to finish the season without riding the mustache, Rod. This is another one where if we get top 10s, the top 10 is the bet. And last week, the top 10 cashed yet again on Dean Thompson. Gave it out here on the show. Starts in 30th. I told you not to worry about where he started because it probably wasn't going to be good. Finishing 8th place. Another great run by the mustache man himself. We don't have top 10 odds, but I don't mind taking a top 5 at plus 3750 over on Fanatics. Give me some of the mustache, Rod. Look, it's been a season for Dean Thompson. He's got one start at Phoenix, and he finished in 36th place. So don't look too hard into that. But he did start 12th. That was in the spring race here. They had some speed, started well, got caught up in it. Shit's going to happen, right? Not too worried about that. But the season's been pretty good, especially down the stretch here. Yeah, not all the results have been there, but the 8th place at Martinsville, very promising. Had the 10th place run at Kansas, 16th place at Gateway, the 7th place back at Daytona, 12th place at Bristol, 10th place at Indy, 16th place at Dover. He's had some very, very good runs down the stretch, even going back to the spring. 6th place at Martinsville again, and then he was able to repeat that in the fall. Shorter, flatter tracks. You'd like to see that. 11th place at Rockingham. It's been a strong season for the mustache man himself. Give me Dean Thompson, top 10 is really the bet that I would like if you get the opportunity. Again, I know I'm saying that. I know we don't have numbers right now. It's tough because we're kind of in a bad spot. But if you're listening to this later in the week, or if you're listening to this now and then you see the top 10 odds come up, go look. These are the two guys I really want to look for. Bonsignore, Thompson. Obviously, we can talk more in the Discord when we actually see numbers too. But whatever these guys' numbers are, they're going to be good enough. I'm going to want to take them. But if you get the top 5 plus 3750, it's not supposed to cash, Rod. If you're one of those guys, I don't see the maximum value, and maybe it's not for you. But if you want to sweat out the mustache, let's fucking sweat out the mustache, baby.
Because why can't this be fun too? I don't understand where the fun is.
We need to reset that on going into next year. You gotta have fun with this stuff. If you're not having fun, it's gotta be just so I could see if you're not in this for the fun, it's gotta just be heart-wrenching nonstop. Oh my goodness, you're just hanging on to everything that happens in NASCAR. I mean, the experts suck. They're not in the chat today, but their NASCAR term, that's got to be killing some people. Go have fun with some of these bets. Again, it's not supposed to hit, but he's proven he can put himself in position. Things could get crazy. We've seen some crazy championship races. Remember Carson Hocevar and Corey Heim a couple years ago? Literally just wrecking each other so the other one wouldn't win the championship. There's been some crazy stuff that's happened in these races. Dean's been really good about putting himself in position. It's a fun sweat to have. So that's what I'm here for.
I'd like to think that we've cultivated our audience into those, because we're not for the hardcore. We're not for the professional gamble. If you're listening to this and you're professional, then you don't need us. You've never needed us.
But
you're just
how many people?
Funny
you bring that up, because I saw that professional gambler for NASCAR is retiring because just not any value left. I really, if that's your thing, I mean, if you can make it work, good for you. But be like Laura and have fun. She's having fun. That's what matters.
Indeed. Speaking of having fun, I've been having fun all season long, and I do get to actually give out one final winning car number bet for the season. And quite fittingly, it comes on the last race of the last betting picks episode of the year. So winning car number, I'm going to take the even at minus 120. You get half of the championship drivers, right? You get the 88 and the 2, where the 7 and the 1 are the other one. So it's a 50-50 coin flip. If you feel more comfortable taking the odd side of it, you can. But I'm going to take the even side of it at minus 120. It'll just, it'll be fun because you get half of the championship 4. And obviously we think one of those 4 are going to end up winning the race. It's the 88. Guess what? You're holding a minus 120 ticket on the 88 win. Or if Jesse Love manages to beat his best friend, well, there you go. You got that too as well. So it's just sort of a fun little way to get half of the field. Or you could play it safe and just bet both and then not win anything and really having fun. But I'm going to take the winning car number even. And really, again, that's just mainly because of the other half. And then, look, I mean, Brandon Jones driving the 20. We just talked about how good he's been on this track. And then I know Aric Almirola drives the 19, and it's not going to cash if that one wins. But if Taylor Gray wins another race, then you're excited about that. So there's other possibilities to win and cash this bet for having fun. And then over 30.5 is at plus 210. Flat out, this is a Connor Zilisch bet. This is a double up on a Connor Zilisch, because Zilisch is not plus 210 to win this race. You make more betting on and I don't know how that happened. I don't know what happened. I know Caesars is setting these numbers up, and they really just kind of overlooked it. And check and see if it's still there, because I couldn't believe it when I saw it. But over 30 is at plus 210, and Zilisch to win the race is at plus, well, you'll give that out in a second, but it's not plus 210. So you're going to get more.
Well, I think him to win the race is that number. I think him to win the championship is the lower number.
Yeah, either way, it's still something that I'm going to take and double up on a Connor Zilisch just in case he does happen to win. Plus,
he's plus 250 to win the race.
Yeah,
but yeah, if you the winning car number, it is the where's that one at?
It should be under the specials, but anyways, over 30 plus 210, I'm definitely going to take that because I feel like that's a double up on Zilisch. And if he wins, you're happy. And I know that 3 of the 4 are under this number. 3 of the championship 4 are under this number, but whatevs, man. We all think Connor Zilisch is going to win this one. So might as well go all in on that one.
Yeah. I mean, if you like Zilisch part of it, then yeah, I think, having Almirola as an odd number car and under that, having Allgaier odd number and under that, that's probably definitely gives you a little bit of hesitation. But I'd try not to argue too much with you on your number bets, Rod.
So far, so good, right? So, all right, then who is going to win this race, in our opinion?
Yeah, I was painstakingly trying to find a way to get Jesse Love into this box, Rod. Just to I'm going to all favorites this week, and I don't love that for the championship, but I can't find another way to go about it. I think there's a case to be made for Allgaier. The case will be made, right? But the way that I am betting this, I'm going to take Aric Almirola to win this race because I think Aric Almirola gets it done. I think that he's in the fastest car. I think he's at short flats the best driver in this field. And I already talked about his stats, and you're getting a good number. 4-1, I think, is a great number on Almirola because he's not in the championship 4, but he's still racing for that owner's title. So he can go win the race, he can go win the owner's title, and somebody else can have the driver's championship. Everybody gets their cake, all that fun stuff. But I think that Aric Almirola wins this race. So I'm going to take him at 4-1 to win the race. Then I'm going to take Connor Zilisch to win the championship. Again, make sure you're paying attention if you're betting the race, if you're betting the championship. I'm going to take Connor Zilisch to win the championship at plus 110. Now, I don't have to worry about if Almirola beats him. If somehow Austin Hill beats him and wins that owner's championship as well, maybe he just goes and runs second to Almirola. It's a great battle at the end. Maybe he goes and beats Almirola. Fine. I'm covered that way too. So I think that betting on Zilisch plus 110 is the way to go. I've already got some 7-1 on him, and I love having that. And I think, I looked through this group and I was like, Allgaier, he was 2 laps down at one point last year. Like, man, we really think he's going to come out and have it, and the piano's not going to fall. Like, he had his moment to shine, and I think that might be it. And at only 3-1, I couldn't talk myself into it over Zilisch at the season he's had at plus 110. And then Love, you look at it, he's been great here. The average finish, we talked about it. We're taking the top 5, the top 3, maybe hedging a little bit in case he wins with that. But he's only 10-1 to win the race. Then he's got to beat Zilisch. He's got to beat Allgaier. He's got to beat Almirola too. And then the number is only, I think, 550 or 6-1 to win the championship. So it's like, if Almirola beats him, maybe finishes second. I don't think it's a big enough number. I think you just bite the bullet. You take the plus 110 on Connor Zilisch here and the 4-1 on Almirola to win the race. Ideally, Almirola wins and Zilisch finishes second. Maybe Love finishes third, and we'll just have ourselves a day, Rod. But yeah, Almirola to win the race at 4-1. Zilisch to win the championship plus 110. And despite being such a shill for NASCAR, I have both Corey Heim and Connor Zilisch winning. So,
All I'm saying is that, if you're on the take, I would like a little bit of something that as well. Listen, we come into this knowing full well that Connor Zilisch is the man to beat. Again, like you said, there's sort of a clear cut in both the trucks and Xfinity. Maybe not so much in the Cup Series, but for trucks and Xfinity, everybody's convinced at a time. Everybody's convinced that it's Zilisch, and for good reason. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say to you guys that you're stupid for believing that the favorites and the guys that have dominated the entire series all season long should not be the favorites and should not be bet on, because that's just dumb. That's irresponsible of me to say, well, no, because there could all be all kinds of crazy. No, look, the chances are, and the odds are, quite literally, that both of these guys, that Connor Zilisch is going to go out and win not just the race, but the championship as well. That's well documented. You don't have to have me sitting here telling you, unless you're the professional guy that wants all the numbers, that you need to bet on Connor Zilisch because it makes sense from a statistical model standpoint. No, whatever. I don't care. Connor Zilisch probably going to win. Cody's absolutely right. Going to win the championship. That's a foregone conclusion. But there are 3 other guys out there that want that championship. And one of them is the returning champion from last year. I know, Cody, you said you couldn't talk yourself into Justin Allgaier at 3-1, but I also think that this is an opportunity for Justin Allgaier to just do it again, right? I mean, he did it last year. It got the monkey off of his back, and he has been so damn good at Phoenix in his career. Average finish of 9.6, 20 top 10 finishes. 66% of the time he's on this track, he's finishing in the top 10. 40% of the time he's finishing inside of the top 5. He does have the 2 wins, obviously. Not one last year. He did finish second, but still got himself the championship. Earlier this year, led 130 laps, finished 5th after starting 14th. 3rd place finish in the fall of 2023. 3rd place finish in the fall of 2022. Top 3, right, in these fall races that really means something, obviously, in this. And if he finishes 3rd, maybe not this year he doesn't get it done, but definitely a 2nd place finish to Almirola could get it done as well. And yeah, I mean, Zilisch is going to be in the mix. Zilisch is going to be a thorn in everybody's side, but Zilisch could also have a brake pedal go squishy. Zilisch could also have an engine that blows, a tire that blows. Somebody gets a little squirrely with them in lap traffic and cuts down his car. Like, there's things that can happen to him. And I think Justin Allgaier should be in a very good position to not only win this race, but obviously win the championship by proxy. And I mean, to me, it just feels like a safe hedge off of Connor Zilisch just in case. Now, we talked about Love, wanting to talk ourselves into having Love win the race, but it's just so hard with these other, 2 guys out there in front, 3 guys, even if you throw an Almirola in the mix. It's a tough road for guys like Love and Kvapil to beat Zilisch, Almirola, and Allgaier. So I'll take Allgaier 3-1 to win the race.
Yeah, and man, I feel like you're going to get an upset in one of these 2 series, probably, but it feels like it's time for Almirola to win the race. Feels like it's time for Zilisch. It feels like it's time for Heim. And I don't think anybody's number was good enough that you could justify enough to take them. I did completely forget that Riley Herbst played the spoiler and won this race last year, which is kind of crazy. But I'm going to toss in a bonus parlay, Rod. Caesars will let you parlay the winners of the races. Give me Corey Heim. Give me Aric Almirola. Give me Denny Hamlin for a Toyota winners sweep this weekend, plus 37.48. Let's have a little fun to end the season.
There is no such thing as fun when it comes to NASCAR gambling. Cody, it's serious business. Please don't suggest that you should have fun with this and actually try to just do something.
Also, I forgot what a weak championship field it was last year for when Allgaier won this. Like, it was Allgaier, Custer, Allmendinger, and Hill.
I do remember
what a weak field that was. No wonder Allgaier won.
Hey, well, we called it too. So I was very excited that happened because, look, we were right and we had fun while we did it.
That's right. Have fun, people.
All right, get out your pen and paper with a lot of fun in it. And we're going to go over our bets for this Xfinity Series championship race. Cody started you off with Ryan Sieg over Sheldon Creed at plus 130 over on 365. I said Sheldon Creed, while Ryan Sieg may finish better than him, he'd still finish better than Taylor Gray at even money over on ESPN. Cody gave you Aric Almirola as a top 3 car at plus 115 over on Fanatics. I said Christian Eckes would win Group 3 over on Hard Rock at plus 275 over Justin Bonsignore, Nick Sanchez, and Brendan Queen. Cody loves Love as a top 5 at plus 140 over on Fanatics, and Ryan Sieg as a top 5 at plus 350 on Fanatics. I said Love would be a top 3 car at plus 325, upping the ante on Love. Let's see, Cody gave you Justin Bonsignore as a top 5 at 6-1 over on Fanatics, but keep an eye out for that top 10 number. That's the one he wants the most. He wants it more. Jones, top 5, 2-1 over on Hard Rock. Can you tell we're getting to the end of the week? And then Cody gave you Dean Thompson. We're riding the mustache one more time. Top 5, plus 3750. Top 10, look out for that as well. I said the winning car number would be even at minus 120, then gave over 30 at plus 210. Cody saying this is Aric Almirola's race to win at 4-1. Zilisch to win the championship and tossing in a championship parlay with Heim, Almirola, and Hamlin plus 37.48 for that one. And I said, give me the reigning champion, the repeat champion, Justin Allgaier at 3-1 to win the race.
Oh, what a beautiful season it's been, Rod. as we wrap up our final NASCAR picks show for the year. But we'll be back, bonus episode tomorrow for DFS. And then we mentioned this earlier in the week, but Sunday the plan is 25 laps or so left in the race. We're going to jump on YouTube live, join us, watch the end of the race with us live, watch as the champion's crowned. We'll kind of live react to the end of the race, how things have been going, give a little recap of the champion, and kind of celebrate all that live in the moment. I'm glad that it works out for both of us to be home. Glad that we're going to be able to do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So love to see you guys join us for that.
I'm just wanting to put the over under on how many words I slur as we watch it, because I may have a beverage in hand by the end of that race. We may need it.
There's a good chance, yeah, especially depending on how the race is going. Will depend on our level and how the weekend's been on our levels of tankedness.
That is true. I've got band review weekend, so it's definitely going to be something to behold. All right, listen, hey, thanks for joining us all season long. If this is the last episode you listen to for this part of it, obviously come back next week. We're going to have some F1 stuff. There's other motorsports out there that have odds on various books, so we will continue to cover whatever motorsports is out there in the off season and talk NASCAR too.
So much off season stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, championship odds. So in the past, championship odds have been out a week after Phoenix. We'll see as we await the announcement. That'll be kind of interesting. Actually, I sort of hope that they post them almost right away so we can talk about them without knowing what the format is and kind of, hey, in this scenario, maybe take this guy or that guy and then get a refurbished list once they do announce it. That would be fun. Hopefully we'll maybe get that opportunity. But yeah, as Ash said, Daytona 500 odds come out in December usually. Season total wins. You championship stuff to make the Final Four. Books have been better and better about more props here down the road. So hopefully that'll kind of roll into the offseason as well. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun and packed offseason. I was sort of just kind of peeking ahead a little bit the other day. We're not going to struggle for offseason content this year, Rod. We might not have enough shows to fit in everything we need to talk about.
I know my buddy goes, so what do you do during the off season? I was like, buddy, we don't slow down. Like
there is no off season for us.
Still 3 episodes a week. We will still be able to bring you that. So don't worry about it at all. Want to say again, thank you to all of you who have stuck around. We have seen such gigantic growth in this show over the last season, and it's just all thanks to you guys. I know, Slow Roll, you want to thank us for the best NASCAR show going and for our service to the country, but really we want to thank you guys because this show is all about you.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate everybody, and we like to rib fun with you guys and joke and have fun. It's all lighthearted for the most part. But yeah, keep the Spotify comments rolling. Keep the YouTube comments rolling. Join us in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Jump over there in the NASCAR channel. If you have any issues right away, sometimes when you just first join, maybe hit me up in the DMs and I can make sure you're verified. That way you're good. We try to keep the spam out over there. And yeah, going to be a fun off season, but we'll be back tomorrow. One more show, Rod. In the meantime, follow me over on the X at @Husker_Zeeb. If you listen to this before the Thursday night football game, I've got a preview out for that. Tons and tons of other stuff. My college football upset parlay is out. My Cup Series betting article is out. I've got the confidence pool picks coming up for the NFL is going to be posted here soon. I've got props for Sunday is going to be posted here soon. I also jumped on another show, a local racing show here, The Front Stretch, with my friends Dan and Dirk, and our buddy James Rowland joined us as well. I actually kind of went in depth in their they do like stages of the race or turns. Turn 3 of the race, if you get to that part, that's where we're at. We went in depth on how we are placing the championship drivers in the championship. So like who's going to finish 4th, 3rd, and win, obviously. And then kind of went in depth on the types of playoffs we want to see and what we don't want to see, what we do want to see for when NASCAR makes these changes. So kind of fun to dive into all that. Check that out. Posted that over on the X. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Definitely we'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez, where you can find all of my musings and all of my fun stuff that I've got going on as well. All right, like Cody said, we'll see you tomorrow for DFS. So until then, sleep tight, everybody. We're that much closer to championship racing. So let's go racing and let it ride.